Listen in for some positivity and good times. The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes Broadcast Network. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, hello, my friends. I am going to make a quick message here because, talking with several different people that are into meditation and just different things like that, come to realize the reason why we have so much turmoil in this whole world is because we're never going to reach that part of peace because nobody really wants it. That's why we haven't got there yet. Nobody really wants it. Nobody really wants to get along. Nobody's happy unless they're a victim. So you can forget it. We're never going to appease. We're never going to reach that pinnacle of peace and prosperity and things like that because apparently conflict is what we truly want out of life. Every time you try to get along with somebody that otherwise you didn't before, well, you've taken the victimhood away from them, so they got to move the goalpost, and you're never going to reach that. So you until people change the way they think, it's just never going to happen. Uh, do I think it could happen? Well, of course, if we'd all stop and stop thinking about ourselves. This all begins with us. We have to look inside ourselves. The change has to come within, from within. I can't expect things to get better in my life expecting you to change. No, it's not going to change until I change myself, my way of thinking. And you can call me every name in the book. You can tell me that I'm something that I'm not. You want to sit here and tell me that I'm prejudiced and all these other things. Hey, if that makes you feel better, then you go for it. I can't change your mind for you. You have to do that from within yourself. If you're thinking that, you're the one with the problem, not me. I know my heart. I know who I am. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We can go on back. I'm not the same person I was when I was a kid. I look back at, I didn't know certain things when I was a kid because I hadn't experienced them yet or I hadn't been taught them yet. And I could sit here and go, God, I was so stupid as a kid. No, I wasn't educated. I wasn't informed. As I got older and I got more wisdom, yeah, I got smarter. Doesn't mean that my earlier self was stupid. I just didn't know. And now I've reached a part in my life where number one, I'm not done learning. I still have a lot of learning to do. And you don't stop learning. If you think that you've gotten to the pinnacle of your education, you're mistaken. You don't stop learning to the day you die. There's always something new to learn. There's something new to experience. There's other parts of the world that I would love to experience. There's other cultures I'd like to experience. Uh, that's the beauty of this life is we keep evolving. But if you keep trying to push people backwards instead of forward, you're never going to get forwards if you keep going backwards. So you want to call me that I'm prejudiced and I have all this privilege and all these other things, and you try to, make yourself out to be virtuous. That's all on you. It has nothing to do with me. It's inside of you. It's not me. If you're going to get upset with me over something you just invented 5 minutes ago, that's your problem, not mine. If I make a mistake and I apologize, you take it or you don't. But it's not on me anymore. I've put that burden on you. Am I more virtuous than you are? Nope. I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm opening my eyes to some new things. You can too. I'm not going to hold any of this against you. I think that so many people want to fall in this machine that the world has created. It's got these cogs that keep the machine going, and you want to be part of that. Go ahead. I think I want to make my own machine. We've been taught that you have to have the best of this, the best of that. You've got to own so much. You've got to have so much money to be somebody. You have to have some pinnacle of fame to be somebody. Why? I mean, Brad Pitt puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do. Okay, so he's got a bigger bank account than I do. He can do a lot more stuff than I can. He can buy more stuff than I can. So what? When we die, we're both going into the ground, right? Can't take any of that stuff with me. Is that what we're working towards? To see how much stuff that we have that we can leave for other people when we die? I don't get it. I don't understand why do we have to have all that? Why? As long as I got food in my belly, clothes on my back, and a roof over my head, that's all that should matter. But apparently we feel like we have to have all these things. I've collected so much junk over the years, and now I look at it and go, okay, now I got it. So what? What do I need it for? I don't know. So many things that we should be focused on and we're not. Look at all these problems that we have in our lives. Look at me. Oh, woe is me. And there's people out there that's living a lot worse life than you are. And you hate this country so much. Would you rather live in some third world country where they have nothing? I think we got it pretty good. You, the American flag triggers you, it makes you upset. Why? Okay. All these changes start within ourselves. You want things to be different, you change. That's the way. That's how things begin. You ever seen dominoes? You stack them up, and then when you knock them over, then you can make go all kinds of lines, or you can even make cool pictures and stuff. But each domino has to be set up before it can do that. So, maybe that's a bad example, but every journey begins with one step. You're part of that journey. You be that first step. You change. I'm going to change. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to continue to try to help people the best that I can. Why don't you? Instead of causing more problems, I see some of these TikTok videos and these people sitting here going, they're trying to be so virtuous. They've created some new gender or sexual orientation or whatever the heck you want to call it. I don't even want to try to be politically correct because it's still going to be wrong. And they sit here and they want to point the finger and they want to lecture you and how, you need to learn this, you need to think this. Why? Why do I need to? Something you just made up. Okay, I'm going to make up my own little world too. And I want you to fall in line with those. I'm going to identify as I'm anti-COVIDian, so I can't get the coof. How's that? I mean, it all goes by feelings and not by facts, right? That's me. I can't get it because I feel that way and I can't spread it. I feel that way. How's that? I could sit here and rant and rave all day long, but I try to keep things positive, but it's very, very difficult when I see some of the stupidity that I see on in the news and social media and all that. And unfortunately, until I get off the grid, I'm living within this, and I have to know what's going on. Can't get away from it. I want to be the first one to say I want to change. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, and I'm not thinking I'm any better than anybody, but I want to be the first to say, hey, you know what, I'm changing. Somebody else fall in line. Let's change. Be the best that we can be. Stop being part of a cog in this machine that's pumping out crap that we don't need. My goal, I want to I want to try to earn enough money that I can get off the grid and get out of this. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Sorry, I just don't. I don't feel the need. I want to go grow my own vegetables, raise my own cattle and chickens and all those kind of things, and have goats and dogs and whatever critters I can have on my farm. I want a farm. That's what I want. Grow my own food, have solar panels. So if I need electricity, I got electricity, have my own water well so I can get my own water, get off the grid. I don't even care if I have internet anymore. Really don't. I want to try to do as much as I can to get to that point and then leave all of it because this is ridiculous. All we do is we teach hate. We're spending money that we don't have for things that we don't need. I don't understand the mentality of this world anymore. I don't know why I wanted to fall in line with all this, because I don't. It's not what I want. I want to have peace. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy nature as long as I can, as long as I'm still on this earth. If that means dropping out of society as much as possible, and don't get me wrong, I love people. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I love hearing other people's ideas. Why why can't we get back to that? Let's just get to know each other. And believe me, I know there's more people out there that they want the same thing. I do. I'm not unrealistic. There are people. There's just for some reason a group of people now that feel they have to be so virtuous and say, "Oh, I'm I've realized how prejudiced I have been all these years," and blah 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 blah. You know what? I used to be because that's what I was taught, but I'm not that way anymore. And if you think that I still am, like I said, you're the one with the problem. I'm ranting and raving. I'm going off the rails here. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm hoping I will spark something in someone that'll want them to change as well. So leaving this unedited, mistakes and all, I don't care. Take it as you will. Take me as I am, or don't. But anyway, I hope, I really hope and pray you have a wonderful day. You have a blessed life. I hope that you get all these things in your life that you truly, truly want. Until the next one, peace. One more thing I'd like to say, and I forgot to say this a minute ago, but if you want to continue to let other people drive a wedge between us, that's a problem as well. Because let's face it, unless the politicians, unless they were not to have a boogeyman, they wouldn't have something to use on your emotions. So they're going to create this us against them mentality. It gives them something to to have a cause to fight for. Are there prejudiced people out there? Yes, there are. But for the most part, your neighbors really aren't. Do they get upset and say things they don't mean every once in a while? Of course they do. Everybody does. Underlying true prejudice? I don't think so. But unless we make a boogeyman, there's nothing for them to use. Let's take the power away from these politicians. Let's just show them that we're better than them. Let's get some of these fools out of office. How's that? Let's start all over again. Let's get rid of all these fools and start all over again. let's find some people that actually want to, help out this country, that will bring people actually together instead of, putting us against each other, regardless of how you feel about the vaccinations or about masks, what side of the aisle you're on. I say to each his own. I know that's probably going to piss some people off, but hey, you know what? That's the libertarian coming out in me, I guess. I think whatever makes you feel good, fine. But let's stop letting them put us against each other. The only competition we should have is on the sporting fields. That's, I think, used to be the traditional way of getting our arguments out, because you just had a friendly competition instead of us trying to kill each other. See, we're doing all this to keep other people in power. Where are you on that spectrum? Are you getting really anything out of it? Because you're really not. You're not getting no special privileges out of it. No, we're giving that to all the politicians. We've fallen for that trick for so long. It's like, it's just become part of our everyday life. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Why do we keep giving these people power? They make promises to you. They don't keep these promises. They might fulfill a few of them just to say, hey, look, see, I did what I told you I was going to do. But for the most part, they're not. There's always something underlying that makes them money. And we just keep giving it to them. They're supposed to be working for us, not us working for them. So I just had to throw that in. I'm sorry. I have to get this stuff off my chest. It's bothering me to no end. I just want people to get along. I miss just having that fellowship with other people. It's all going to determine how you feel about it. If you want to keep giving into all this and giving them their way, that's your right. If you want to be angry with other people all the time, you don't want to give people the benefit of the doubt, hey, I understand. That's your right. I don't want to hate. I don't want to hate anybody. But it's getting to be where they want us to draw a line in the sand. You're either on this side or you're on this side, and there's no compromise. I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's the way life should be. But anyway, take care. Once again, God bless and peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network